Yo, welcome to Get Blueshelled episode 56.
Ooh, welcome back.
What is up, my friends? How are you guys?
Pretty good. It's been we had a little hiatus.
I know that's 100% my fault. I'm sorry, everyone. How are you guys doing? Dozo, thank you for joining us. I'm doing great. We're here with Ryan and Mike today, as always.
Hey.
I'm good. We're one week away from peak.
Yeah. I apologize that it's been a while, but I went to PAX East, which was really fun, actually. We missed you guys.
Next time we'll be there.
Yeah, next time for sure. Ryan, we're dragging you by your feet.
Against my will, yes.
Against your will.
I'm kidding.
Ryan, you would have so much fun there, like low-key.
Yeah, you would.
But yeah, I wanted to, first off, I have to fix my bitrate, so I need you guys to stall for me for a second.
Stalling.
Let's vamp.
I forgot to fix my bitrate. I think we're good now.
Okay,
Maybe?
that's fast.
That was a quick vamp. I had to
Actually, that was faster than I thought.
Stalled.
But yeah, so I figured before we hop into the news, let's just all update on the games we've been playing, because Mike, you just beat Claire Obscure. I think you're the only one out of the three of us who has played it, right?
Yeah, and that's honestly a crime because it's the game of the year. I'm calling it
100%.
right now. It really is. It was so good.
It looks so good. You 100%ed it?
Yeah, I got the plat trophy and everything. I want more. That's the worst part.
All right, let me ask you. So, aside from the obvious, like, oh, it's really fun and different, like, why do you think this stands out as Game of the Year?
It does everything right. Like, it gets you in with a really good story, and it's like pretty straightforward. It's like you go from destination A to destination B. Like, I don't want to spoil it just in case someone wants to go blind.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like along the way, it's like split into 3 acts, and each time like an act changes. It's not like a game that has like mystery throughout it, if that makes sense. It does. Like, it has a lot of like background lore, but like the world building's so good, the story's so good, the characters are good, the voice acting, the music is like fantastic. Every time they do like a twist, it's not like if I was to describe it, you'll be like, oh, that sounds complicated, but they do it so well written throughout it where they give you the pieces when you should get the pieces.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just obsessed with it.
Were you like following the development of the game at all, or were you just like, oh,
yeah,
this game
I was pretty.
Okay.
When they first revealed it. Not like every week I was looking for an update, but I'm like, oh, like when I first showed it, I'm like, I want this game.
Yeah.
Then they showed it the second time, like, I want this game, and then
Yeah.
like I was very much looking forward to the release.
Okay, yeah, no, that's interesting, because for me, like, I haven't really been following it at all, and when it randomly came out, in my head, it randomly came out, and everybody was hyping it up. I was like, what even is this? And I watched the trailer, and I was like, actually, this looks really fun.
Yeah, because it can go under the radar. It's, it's like I guess it's an indie team technically, right? A smaller studio.
Yeah.
I don't know what we really consider indie teams, but
Blizzard's an indie game. Small indie
yeah,
company.
oh yeah, sorry, that's the standard.
What about you, Ryan? What are your thoughts?
On Claire?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I said that on the last podcast. I think it looks great. I definitely want to get to it eventually. Obviously, with Switch 2 coming out soon, priority will be on that. But I do want to get to it at some point. It's on the list. I think it, brings us back to the traditional RPG genre, but obviously does a lot of things right and improves upon it and makes it feel modern. Like Mike is saying, it would not surprise me if it's Game of the Year. I know we're only 5 months, almost now, basically 6 months into the year. But I feel like lately the Game Awards and just, awards in general have been trying to like award less so open world games. I feel like, if you look at the last few games of the year, it was Astrobot, it was Baldur's Gate 3, and then I forget what it was before, but it's been a while since we've had like a big open world like RPG open world game win Game of the Year. And I also feel like if you look at like a lot of the popular games this year, like Expedition 33, like Split Fiction, like Kingdom Come Deliverance, whatever it is, I feel like, Nicole has always gone on record saying like, oh, open world games are fun, but they've kind of like everything's now open world, and I feel like the pendulum is starting to swing back a bit.
Yeah.
So I do think it has a great chance. It's still, even on Metacritic right now, it's still at 92%.
Yeah. Yeah, that's and then the other thought too is like, I mean, what other games are coming out this year that could even contest that? Because we know it's not going to be Pokemon Legends ZA.
imagine that's like Game of the Year.
Dude, I'd low key, if it was Game of the Year, I'd actually be so happy for Game Freak, but we all know that that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, because if they do that, and not to get to this tangent, but I'm like, that's how they really looked at everything. Like, we have to revamp it and make it as good as possible, rather than like, let's just get money, which I don't think is really the case, to be honest, right now. But, it's always there on some level.
So, Ryan, what else have you been playing right now? 'Cause since you haven't been playing Expedition, what have you been trying to do?
So I finished Xenoblade X because I wanted to
Ooh.
get through. I wanted to get through it before Switch 2 came out.
That
Because
was your
again,
first time beating it, right?
first
Xenoblade
time
X?
beating it actually, yeah, because I didn't beat it on the original. Had fun with it. I mean, it's a huge game. Like I feel like I did a lot of side quests. I explored a lot of the world, and there's still so much more I could do. It's just I kind of just ran out of time with
Yeah.
Switch 2 coming out next week. I had a fun with time with it. I do see an earlier point that was made, I think, by Nicole that you know, as you get higher in the level, it kind of does feel a little grindy. Where it's like like when you're a lower level, like you level up like really quick. And I feel like in the later levels, because the like you kind of want to be around like level 50 when you get to the final area, the final boss. And it does kind of take a while to grind that up, so it did feel a little grindy. So I kind of got a little like tired of it at the end, but it's still an interesting game. I'm glad I finally beat it 10 years later. But yeah, I mean that's what I've been playing. I was debating actually since I finished it like last weekend. I was debating starting another game, but I'm like, I'm not going to finish it with another game within a week and a half. It's just too little time.
Yeah.
One more thing I did finish though, while we are talking games, in a sense, is that I finished Last of Us season 2.
Oh, nice.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
You like it?
obviously.
I guess say if you liked it or not.
And again, I'm coming at it from someone who didn't play the games. I'm coming into it completely blind, except for the one big thing that people know. Overall, I thought it as a non-game player of it, I thought it was fine. I thought some episodes were incredible. Some episodes were a little meh.
Yeah.
Those who have played the game, essentially, because you guys have not played the game, right? Neither of you?
I've
No.
stopped the second game. I did not like it.
Did you
beat the
stop
first
when the
game.
big thing happened, or you stopped?
No,
further?
I win. I'm like, I knew that was happening. It was upsetting, but I'm like, I'll give it a chance. Like, whatever. This is how they're doing the story. And then it hit a point. I want to say maybe I was like a third of the way in, and I'm like,
Oh,
I
really?
can't. I was so done with it. I was
Yeah,
just not having fun.
I think those who have played the game basically feel like the writing is kind of doing it a disservice, or the way. And obviously, you both work in like the film industry, so you can speak to it more than me. The way they shoot certain scenes, or the way they even like they do certain like cliffhangers, or the way they do certain things, it just could be a lot better. So I feel like people are looking at it with a very fine tooth comb when you obviously make an adaptation of one of the most popular games of all time.
Yeah.
So listen, I'm looking forward to season 3. I wouldn't say it was like
They're
incredible.
doing a season 3?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're doing a season 3, and there might even be a season 4.
Oof, I didn't know that one.
Wait, how?
Because the way that without spoilers, the way that I understand the game essentially is that Ellie is obviously a very big character in the game, but also another big character in the game and in the show is Abby, and they want to kind of focus on both of their stories.
Yeah, you're right. I
I
forgot
think they
about
do
her.
in the game too. I didn't get that far, but I heard they do that in the game too.
I forgot about her, honestly.
So they need to like show, I guess, both stories. But as we know nowadays with TV, not to get on a whole side tangent, but like now that we know with TV nowadays, you film a season, and it's like, all right, you gotta wait like 2 years until the next one.
Yeah.
So I'll be waiting, 2 years.
I hope they improve on it based on the criticism of this season.
Yeah, and I think I think Craig Mazin did a great job on season 1. I feel like people have been a little critical of his directing on season 2. People have been happier with the episodes that Neil Druckmann directed and did from Naughty Dog. But overall, I mean, listen, nowadays everything's getting adaptations like this Mario, Zelda's coming, Elden Ring's rumored now, Split Fiction, like every game nowadays is going to get like an adaptation. So I feel like
Expedition 33 too is rumored.
Expedition 33, every game nowadays is getting adaptations. So.
If they do them well, though, it's fine. Like Fallout, really cool.
Yeah,
like
I really think.
Oh, go ahead.
I really think to do an adaptation, again, not always the case. I really think they should do things based in the world, but not follow the game. Like I really think The Last of Us would be a really good show, which I know is like The Walking Dead, but I think it could have been a really good show just in the world of The Last of Us, not so much like follow Joel and Ellie.
Well, they definitely, like, after season 2, I feel like, I don't know how season 2 ends, but I feel like since season 2 is the last game anyway, then season 3 could have just been more in the world. Like, there's so many amazing stories in Last of Us, like, that whole side thing that they built out for a whole episode with the guy from Parks and Rec. I mean, I would love to see more stuff like that, right? Like, that's
what
really
I mean.
cool.
Like, the world's set up for it. Why not take advantage of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So, me?
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you?
Oh, dude. Okay, I've been addicted to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red,
Ooh.
but not the remake. I mean the OG one that's on the Virtual Console.
You always say these throwback like games you go back to.
You know why? It's because as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that like I want the simpler games.
Yeah,
Like,
and WoW, of course.
well, I mean,
WoW.
well, I haven't played in a while, but I don't know. There's something about the simplicity of like I told you one of my favorite Pokemon games is Pokemon Rumble, like the original
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
where it's 2 buttons. You just run around and you just smash stuff. And I've been playing a lot of that. And also I was gonna wait until I beat the game to tell you guys what I've secretly been playing, but I kind of hit a wall. So as you guys know, once I hit the wall, it's I'm kind of done.
What is it?
I've been grinding Hades. The game that
Wait,
Mike got
really?
me. Yeah.
Wait,
So
the first one?
yeah, so Mike got me Hades for my birthday a while ago, and I was like, I just want to play it when I have the time to like sit and actually play it.
Yeah.
And I've been grinding it, and I love
It's so
it.
much fun, right?
It's
Yeah,
so
it's a
much
good
fun,
game.
and I got up to the last the room before the last boss, and I just like and I died, and I'm
You're
like the
supposed
damn
to
poison.
Die, though. You gotta go back now.
I know, but like I just
You gotta beat it at least once. Come
I
on.
know I'm so close. So I think I'm at like 27 runs, so it's not like I'm like doing that poorly.
Yeah, you're doing well.
But yeah, no, it's
And
actually
well,
that game's really fun.
I'm happy you finally played it because I know Mike did get it for you, and I've always gone on record saying just knowing you and how you play games, I feel like you would really love it. So I'm happy that you're finally getting to it. And like you said, it takes a couple runs to get through your first like ever completed run.
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, you have like 6 different weapons, you have like different charms, like every run feels so different. Obviously, you have like all like the different god powers as well. So I love Hades.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game's
I
so
haven't played Hades 2, obviously, because it's like I think it's still like an alpha or beta or
It's
whatnot.
in a
so I
really
would be-
good spot right
Wait,
now.
I thought Hades 2 came out.
in
No,
early
it's-
access.
Oh, because my thought was I was gonna get Hades 2 on Switch
Yeah, well, yeah, when it comes out.
when it comes out, I guess.
But it's you can play it on early access right now, which is it's really good right now.
You played it?
Yeah, I did as much as I can at the point I was when I did early access, and I'm like, I'm gonna stop and wait for the real game to come out, because you can definitely tell there's like placeholder stuff. You hit like
Yeah.
an ending, and they're like, oh, there'll be more later. Don't worry, But that being said, there's like I could check how much I put in already right now. Hold on.
Oh, thank you, Alex.
Alex.
Hi, Alex.
Everybody says hi. Oh, thank you.
Now, Nicole, now let me now let me ask you said you've done 27 runs.
Yeah, I've done like 27, 28 runs. Yeah.
What has been like your either like weapon of? Are you trying out all the different weapons, or do you have like a weapon of
Guess
choice?
which
Like
weapon of choice is mine?
the sword.
The punchies.
The punchies.
Yeah, I know.
I would have thought the sword. The punchies.
The sword is number 2.
So not to sound cheap, because I feel like this is probably the easiest weapon, but the first run that I completed,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I ended up finishing like 10 runs, because I think you have to do 10 runs, Mike, to like see like the next like to like the end of the story or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's 8, whatever it is.
10 completed runs.
I think you have to like complete a
you gotta
run.
like beat it like 10 times.
Oh,
Like,
I think
okay.
it's 10
times
runs
to get to
myself.
like the final like story beat.
Okay.
I ended up trying all the weapons, like the sword, the punchies, the bow and arrow. For me, the easiest one was the shield. The shield bash.
the
feels
shield is-
The shield
ridiculous.
seems very strong.
It's
yeah.
very strong, especially if you can get Demeter. Like if you can get like the ice power, and like you can slow with the shield, it feels like broken sometimes.
I don't think you have her yet, though. Right?
No,
You
I was
get
gonna
that.
say I don't recognize any ice things.
Not yet. Not
No.
Yet. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta beat it like once, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've been really I even like the spear. The only one I don't like is the gun. The
Yeah,
very last
yeah.
one you unlock, I really don't like that one.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge fan of the bow. Sorry, Mike.
Oh,
I
it's okay.
like for these games, I really like melee. Like just get up nice and quick and just get in the face.
If it matters, the sword was my favorite. I did like
Sword's
the bow
really
a lot,
fun.
but the sword was my favorite.
I've just been like, I don't know, like I'm still playing competitive Pokemon, right? But I've been kind of
Yeah.
enjoying some of the simpler games, and like with
Yeah.
Hades, you just kind of turn your brain off and smash things, which is why I was like, when 2 comes out, I want to get it on the Switch too.
Yeah.
And like I was playing a game at PAX. I know we have other stuff to talk about, but really quick, did I send you guys the trailer for Everdeep Aurora?
I thought you did.
It's the
sounds
cat.
vaguely
It's the
familiar.
cat that digs.
Yes. Yep, I remember.
Mike, I also think you knew about the game ahead of time, right?
No, not this one.
Oh.
You sent it to me though. I do remember looking at it now.
Okay, yeah, Ryan. It's called Everdeep Aurora. So I didn't play much of it. I just played the tutorial. It's kind of like Undertale meets like a vertical
Like side
a
scroller.
side scroller, I guess, but it's all about exploration. It's gotten really good reviews, and I really want to buy it, but it's not on Switch. Which, by the way, last week I came about this close to buying a Steam Deck.
Did you?
Yeah, but like I'm unemployed at the moment, and I just bought a Switch 2, and I'm going to Japan. I was like, I can't.
Yeah, one step at a time.
Not the.
You know what
best time.
game? Sorry, one last tangent.
Mhm.
You know what game I got recently? Because I
What?
want to take it on the bachelor party with me.
What?
Fantasy Life, the new one that came out.
Oh my god, everybody's
I
raving
love
about
it.
it.
It's so because I beat Expedition 33 and I'm like I am depressed. I have to
That's
do
all-
a fun, quirky game. Not that the ending's sad. It's just like it's just going through all the emotions of the game.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it sound like it's a sad ending. It's just what you go through with the game. But
You're saying
anyway,
it's over.
I'm like I need a quirky game that's just like fun and like perfect level 5. They're not giving me Professor Layton, so let me just get this fun little game. It's so good. There's so much content in it. And
That's
it's
what I've
so
heard.
fun.
Do you think
Yeah.
I would like it? Be honest.
Yeah, I think you would honestly. I think some parts might annoy you because there's like a you could build like your camp area, but the thing is, it's so optional. You basically just do what you want to do, but there is like a story to go through.
Oh, I see it. Honestly, I did not look into this game, but if you recommend it, I may pick it up. Is it on
Yeah.
Switch as well? Do you know?
Yes, I think it's Switch and Steam. I got it on Steam. Just,
So
I don't know why.
here's the problem: is like,
Yeah.
do I buy it on Switch and then assume it works on Switch too?
I
would
would say
assume.
that's
I would
safe.
think.
I mean, you could always wait the week if you want, but
Yeah, that's true.
I would say it's safe. The good thing is, if you get it, there's multiplayer and it's cross-platform, so we could play together.
Oh, I like that, Ryan.
Ryan, come on.
This is
quest
not
together.
Ryan's type of game at all.
No, it's not.
But yeah, that's also why I was playing Mystery Dungeon, is because like
Yeah.
I don't know, lately these like mindless. I was talking to somebody else too, like these mindless games. I just been enjoying.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
playing.
There's a charm to them.
Although I did hear, did you guys ever play Mystery Dungeon Red, the original one?
I played the original one.
Ryan, I know you owned it.
Yes.
So the first few like quests were like really easy, and I was like, oh, this is kind of boring. Like, I don't know if I want to
Yeah.
play this. And I was talking to my friend, and he's like, no, trust me, it gets harder. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Does it actually? I
Well,
don't remember at all.
I mean, not super difficult. It's still a child's game, but like he said that it actually gets like pretty hard.
Yeah.
It's from what I remember, the main story, like most Pokemon games, is not very hard at all. But if you try to do like post-game stuff and post-game dungeons, I hear it gets very tough.
Yeah, that's what he
Wow.
said to me. So it just had one of those difficulty bumps where like now I can't just spam,
Yeah, you gotta think
one
about your
move.
moves.
I gotta actually use the items and stuff, and I just
Your
died, so I
casual
lost
game,
everything.
it's out the window already.
Mhm.
What's up, Steve? Anyway, okay, I don't want to rant on that for too long because we do have other stuff to talk about. So, I guess we'll talk really quick about Switch 2 release. So that's obviously coming out in a week. All three of us were able to get orders in. I'm super hyped about it. I'm gonna be playing Mario Kart as soon as I'm able to.
It just sucks because obviously no one bought the Switch 2, so we don't want to play online with. You know?
Yeah, there's no one to play online.
Nobody
with.
wanted to
Yeah.
buy it because it's too expensive.
The second, real talk though, the second I'm able to get it hooked up, I really hope I'm able to get it to work with my capture card, which if it's HDMI, it should theoretically work. I want to do Mario Kart streams. So
Yeah, let's do it,
Yeah.
please.
I think
It
it's
should be
going to be
fun.
really fun.
We should do a stream, not to take over your stream, I guess.
Oh, no.
Where we just explore the world. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Dude, that would be
Three of us.
so fun. I'm so down. And
Yeah.
it fits our theme. Get Blueshelled.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is what we were building up to for. What was it, 50?
5-6 years ago, we came out with this name just specifically for the
Yeah.
Mario Kart.
It all
No, I
comes
think that'd be
full
fun.
circle.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Because I'm definitely not exploring the world by myself. I can tell you guys that much. So
No, yeah. If I'm by myself, I'll play. I'll race. I'll try like the different knockout modes and whatnot. But like if I'm playing with friends, I'll explore the world.
Yeah,
There's
we gotta
gonna
get
be
the
a lot
outfits
to see.
together. I don't know. if that's
listen,
gonna
I'm
work.
unemployed right now. So anything you guys want to do, now's the time to get me.
Sure, you got it.
But yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Oh, this is a good question actually from Dozo. What do you think about the stores that have sold the Switch 2 and those consoles getting bricked?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I
That's
totally
a good
forgot about
point.
that. Thank you, Dozo, for bringing that up. So, who wants to answer this first? Do you want me to go first, or do you guys have a thought?
I have
will.
I have a summary, but if you have a thought, you can go first.
You got it.
Right. All right, Ryan, you give the summary then.
So from what I understand, earlier in the week, there was a couple pictures taken where it's like, oh, starting to be put out on store floors are like Switch 2 boxes, and sometimes the boxes like were empty, or sometimes they were full, but they were like locked up like in a cage in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, I saw that.
Somehow during the course of the week, as we know nowadays a console makes its way into the wild
Every time.
And there was a picture and a video of somebody being like, oh, here's the box I'm opening up, here's the wrapped up Joy-Cons, here's the screen, and then everyone's like, oh my god, we're going to see some stuff right away. And then people were like, hold on, Nintendo is smart because they knew this was going to happen because of how people are nowadays. You now cannot start up the Switch 2 unless you have like the day one patch. And the day one patch, which we knew was coming, is going to be, like 1.01, whatever it's called. You have to do that to set up the Switch, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I saw some people complaining, and it's like nowadays, like, if people are like, oh, I need an internet connection to set up my system, it's like, we all like use internet. You all have internet, right? It's like, I feel like everybody.
Ryan.
So I feel like that shouldn't be a problem for like 99% of people.
I stand there too.
So some consoles are out there, but you can't start it without the update. The only thing you can do is you can like turn it on. And the cool thing that we saw, and then I want to get your guys' thoughts, is the cute little setup jingle. And it has has a little bit more personality. Like it has like the colorful icons. It like makes little sounds. So has a little bit more life to it. But that's kind of what's been happening over the last week.
Thank you for that summary, Ryan. That was very good.
Helpful.
Mike, what are your thoughts?
You mean just more like the Wi-Fi thing for connecting?
Just the
overall?
fact that Nintendo is breaking consoles because they're selling it before street date, and then on top of that, now because of that, they're requiring a day one patch.
Yes. Okay. Honestly, I'm gonna be maybe an outlier. I don't know. I think
Speak
it's
your
fine.
mind, Mike.
I think it's fine that they're doing this. And here's the main reason. Usually I'm sort of against like a console needs to be connected to the internet to do anything. But at the end of the day, this is a portable console and nothing's stopping you from like going to a public library or like something. Especially if the update's
That's a great point.
Started.
That's a great point.
Or over a friend's house, like maybe I'm just like oblivious to how like things are in different parts of the world, but I feel like if you have enough money to buy a console and not have internet, you at least have the capability to go somewhere with Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Get this console started.
Yeah, I think there's, and that's a great point too. I think there's two parts to this, right? There's the exactly what you guys are saying, which is like, listen, if you're spending $450 on this thing and you still can't find a single way to get access to internet for this, I think that's a you problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how'd you buy it?
Yeah.
You know? That's a great point. So, honestly, like 90% of me is just like, yeah, honestly, I think it's fine because they should be protecting the fact that stuff shouldn't be sold before street date. Things are leaking. People, the other thing too is like these consoles are getting hacked, right? People are hacking them and breaking them and then doing something so that, people can, what's the word that I'm looking for, guys? Like when they hack it to put the games on it, jailbreak it.
Jailbreak. Yeah.
So I think it's to help combat like jailbreaking before it even hits the street. I think a lot more people are upset about the actual moral part versus the what's the word I'm looking for?
The Wi-Fi part.
Yeah, like more of it being like on moral grounds versus like, oh, this is actually inhibiting me from using the console.
Okay.
Again, I don't really care. I think it's fine because I'm not buying things before a street date. Although I try to think of it as like, hey, what if I'm 8 and my dad just happened to get a Nintendo Switch 2 console early for whatever reason and he gives it to me and then I can't use it? I mean, that kind of stinks, but like I kind of wish I was able to just boot it up and play the games like the old times, but
I agree with that. But
I have very little sympathy, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
I agree with that. I mean, but it also, like, to be fair, it also is like a context thing as well, where it's like, if we were having this conversation like May 2nd, and and we have a month to go before launch, and like, okay, like you said, a kid gets it because their dad got it early. That sucks. You can't use it for a whole month. I mean, in this context example, it comes out in 7 days. So I mean, it's like if something did break at street date and someone has it early, it's like you gotta wait like a week.
Yeah, and also on top of that, let's be real, I don't even know if they're gonna wait until the actual launch day. I mean, they say that, right, to like stop people, but who knows?
You never know.
Because because what are you gonna do? Send a patch out the exact second that it goes live?
Midnight.
Like at a midnight release, like then half the people getting at a midnight release like can't use it. So I don't know. But then how do you also send the patch out to something that's turned like on beforehand? Like what if the console is already manufactured, you send it out, but Ryan, you don't receive it until June 18th?
Yeah.
Then you still have like that hasn't been updated. You still have to update it.
Is that patch always going to be required? Is that how it works? Like
See,
no matter what.
that's what I'm trying to get at. Like that's what I don't know. Is that is it always going to be required? How big is the patch?
They could always just make the next wave include it, you know.
That's what I'm thinking they're probably going to do.
Which I don't know if that's more work. I have no idea how that works.
To me, so a patch like this has to be a simple, like it's just encoded, just like a little like password thing that they just put in. Oh, this flip a switch. Okay, you're good. Like I don't think it's like you're not downloading 2 gigabytes of files.
Yeah. You're not downloading the Nintendo Switch.
In my personal opinion, it's less the internet let me move this over here so I can actually read it. I'm like looking over here. In my opinion, it's less about the internet compatibility and more so the fact that Switch 2 doesn't let you play on it until street date, so customers can't give a review. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's probably not that big of a deal, but it's the fact that people can't review. So I get what you're saying, because it kind of almost feels like, hey, we don't want people to put negative reviews out on this console before it hits, right? But that's what like professional reviewers are for, right? Like you have IGN, you have all these other gaming companies that have had a Switch 2 probably for the last 3 or 4 months. Honestly, like ever since the reveal, they were probably sent a Switch 2 like prototype or something to work on. And if they weren't, then they definitely have one by now. Where wait, didn't IGN just post a Switch 2 review?
Yeah, they posted something. I know
they just posted something. So, I mean, here's the thing. At the end of the day, influencers always get everything first. When I went to PAX and I was the first one in the building and I went straight to the Pokemon line, it was all influencers. I saw Carlos there. I saw All Creamy Sunday. I saw Pokemon commentator Necra. She was there, which is fine. Like, I'm fine. But like, that's the world we live in. So,
that's what's going to make the money, right? Like,
that's what's going to make the money. But I get it, but that also is how every other product in like the universe works, right? Is that they send it out to a select. This isn't a Nintendo exclusive thing. It's just Nintendo's one of the only ones that are like, hey, if you are obtaining this like illegally, we're going to punish you for this. Yeah, it's the same thing for jailbreaking too. They are breaking Switches that are jailbreaking. So,
it makes sense. The one other thing I'll say about Switch 2, because I know we have a few other topics to talk about, is I am going to be really curious to see next week, like supply in terms of like, will people be able to get their hands on it? Like obviously pre-orders were crazy. We talked about that previously. But a couple stores recently, like, Best Buy, and I think I just saw Target said this, they're going to have some stock for walk-in while supplies last. So
I saw that.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I'm sorry, I'm blanking. Who's the current president? Takahashi, who's the current president?
I actually don't know. Let me look.
Nintendo.
Iwata, my heart.
Oh, it's Furukawa.
Oh, yeah. Furukawa, yeah. So Furukawa, I was thinking of Kimishima, but I know he's no longer the president because he was interim. So Furukawa went on record saying, I believe we will have enough to meet demand. And I was like, I don't know, you kind of had a big snafu on pre-order night. It was like a zoo out there.
Yeah.
But now you have these distributors, like you saw Nicole saying, oh no, we might have some supply when we have walk-ins. So I will be very curious to see how they actually do next week.
It's just I'm curious how much it actually is, because it's one thing saying it, but then it could just be 10.
I also think they said that because they don't want PR being like, hey guys, sorry, we're not going to meet demand. Like, don't try to buy our console. Like, I think they'd rather say, yeah, we're going to have enough, and then people try to buy it.
Well, that's why they tried the Switch 1 twist, too, where it's like, oh, if you can't get the Switch 2, get the Switch 1. Like, they still want people buying things. They can't say, like, you can't get it. Like, that's the last thing they want to say.
Yeah, and I do think they are going to support Switch 1 for a while. Like, you're going to see more games like Legends that come out on both. And it's going to continue.
There's really no harm to that, like, unless it's really holding back the game.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't seem like it will be, to be honest.
Well, it seems like what they're doing is they're basically giving you the option to pay more for nicer, and that's like a whole separate conversation. I don't know if you guys want to have that right now or if you want to wait, but like the fact that like ZA is $10 more on Switch 2 than it is on Switch 1, right?
Yeah.
So like you can buy it on Switch 1, and then if you decide to get a Switch 2, then you pay $10 for the upgrade, or you just straight up buy the Switch 2 version. I mean, part of me in my brain is just kind of like, that makes sense because you're getting a higher quality product, but like at the same time, it's the same game just for 2 different consoles.
I know this is going to sound bad, but I really feel like it should be like a normal price for the Switch 2 and then less for the Switch 1, but I guess,
But isn't that technically that's what it is, right? I mean, I guess you don't want to call it a normal price.
If every game is $70 now, then yes, technically, but...
How much is ZA? Do we know?
Yeah, we do know how much ZA is.
Is it 80?
Legend ZA. I just saw this. Legend ZA. I think. Sorry, you can keep going as I'm looking this up.
The Switch 2 version.
I thought ZA was 60 for Switch 1 and 70 for Switch 2.
Is that true? Okay. Well, then hold on. Then that actually falls in line with what Mike said, then, right? Because Switch 1 games
then
are
I
all
guess
60.
it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, because I didn't know what the prices were. So, but here's I do want to correct one thing, Dozo. You said it sounds like the Switch 2 version will be Switch 1 until you upgrade.
Yeah, sorry. Legend ZA, physical and digital will be $59.99 on the Switch, $69.99 on the Switch 2.
Okay, that's actually not that bad.
Yeah, so Switch 2 is basically just a blanket, like $70. It seems like it seems like that Switch 2 anything won't be $60 anymore.
Yeah, but but the thing is though, Dozo, when you buy the Switch 2 version, you're paying already the $10 upgrade fee, basically baked in, right? So you don't have to then upgrade it again. Like you're buying the higher tier. The upgrade fee is for people who buy it for Switch 1 and say, I don't have a Switch 2. I just want the Switch 1 version. It's $60. And then 6 months down the line, they get a Switch 2 and they say, damn, I wish this ran a little bit better. Then they pay the $10 to upgrade it.
Yeah.
Again, that's a whole separate conversation about whether or not that's ethical. But I think that's the process.
Yeah, that's sort of what they've been marketing.
Like, you don't have to buy the Switch 2 version and then buy another $10 upgrade. Okay, cool. So enough about Pokemon. The last thing I wanted to say though is that we got the release date for ZA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how do you guys think about I think we all kind of predicted fall, didn't we?
Yeah, it would be fall. Yeah, that was really no surprise. It's just a matter of what placement in fall. I think. Like I don't know if I said it out loud, but I was thinking more like November.
I think we all said November. I think.
Well, I think the reason why people were speculating it was earlier and ends up now it's October 16th is because usually when they market, if you look at like Japanese text, when they usually market Pokemon games, it usually says like, like winter of that year. And for them, they're like lumping in November as like the winter, like the holiday season in a sense. But people that were reading the Japanese text saw for a while, they were like, no, this is fall 2025. And people were like, well, fall still is November, but people were like, they usually market it as winter, and lo and behold, it's now October. Now, I don't think I'm reading that much into it. It's not like it's releasing like in the summer. I feel like it's still around the usual launch window. It is a month before like Black Friday and a month really before the holiday season. So I am curious, and we'll probably get into it, like what Nintendo is going to have in that slot essentially. Because I feel like Pokemon like is their holiday game in a sense, unless they have some surprises in store. But yeah, no, I mean it's at this point we're only now like 4 months away.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I always said November, but like it doesn't now. It kind of makes sense because I think wasn't there another Champions leak that happened recently or rumor?
I sent you a 4chan Champions rumor like a week or two ago, I think.
Okay, so when I looked at that 4chan thing, it actually seemed kind of real, which I know it's like, oh, 4chan, don't believe what you see on 4chan, but like I'm not saying it was real. I'm saying what was on there is believable. Mm-hmm. And they had the Champions launch date, I think, early winter 2026, which kind of makes sense in the scope of how long Scarlet Violet's been out, how long we're now apparently going to have to wait for Gen 10. And it also falls in line with like not overlapping with ZA. So I don't know.
When do we think Gen 10's going to come out? Do we have a speculation for that?
I think next holiday. I think holiday 2026.
So it would come out around Champions then. In that case.
Sorry, sorry, let me
okay.
Let me fix that. I meant like January, February, March, I think is when Champions is coming out.
Oh,
sorry, I said that. Yeah, no, I was confusing.
Yeah.
I think Gen 10 is gonna come out next year for the holiday season. Excuse me.
Okay.
I don't see them going another holiday season without Gen 10. Because think about it, Scarlet and Violet came out in 2022. Okay, it's 2025. That means it's gonna be a 4-year cycle of Scarlet and Violet. And then are they gonna release a main series Pokemon game not during the holiday season?
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time they did that.
That's why Champions would be perfect because it would hold like the whole competitive scene over until that time. Yeah.
I mean, I still think that Champions in January, February, March is a little early, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like I would probably say more towards like second quarter would be my guess for that.
Yeah. The other Pokemon thing that we have in addition to
I'm not sure,
ZA,
Dozo. Sorry, continue.
the other Pokemon thing we have in addition to ZA is I think this is actually more interesting than the October release date. Is we have a Pokemon Presents on
Oh
July
yeah.
22nd. Now, usually, and I feel like Nicole has asked me this a couple times, like we always have the Pokemon Day Presents on February 27th because that's the anniversary. We have that every year. But then sometimes she asks, well, do they have one in the summer? And I'm always like, they always have something, whether it's like in June, July, or August. They always have some type of Pokemon thing in the middle of the year, especially to like lead up to an eventual holiday release. The thing that I find interesting about this is that they announced this 2 months early. Because I feel like with the Presents, kind of like a Nintendo Direct,
Oh
they
yeah,
will
you're
announce
right.
Yeah.
they'll like announce it like a day beforehand, at most like a week beforehand. 2 months beforehand, it's crazy. So I guess my question to you guys is, A, why do we think they maybe announced it 2 months early? But then B, I'm sure for a fact ZA will be there, but do you think we'll see champions there as well? Like, what will we see in this
I think we're
present?
seeing champions.
I think if they're hyping it up this much, it's like a direct, you know? It's not like, oh, here's like the tail of one of the starters of the Gen 10. I think it's gonna be like, okay, here's Gen 10 and here's champions. And they're gonna try to like I think their plan is like now that the Switch 2 is here, here's the Pokemon agenda for the Switch 2 for like the next couple systems. I'm sure we'll get some kind of like fluff games or whatever else too.
So really quick, I just looked it up. The last main series game that didn't launch like from October to December, so I count end of October still holiday season.
Yeah, definitely.
The last main series Pokemon game that didn't launch in that window, and I'm not talking.
Wait. Can I guess before you say it?
Yes, but let me finish the specifications. I don't mean sequels. I mean like first of that generation. When was the last one?
So
You should know, Ryan.
Ryan
well,
brought that
technically, Arceus is main series, but you're not.
Okay, you know what, you're right, but don't. I'm not talking about Arceus.
Yeah. Is it Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon?
No, and
It's
I'm
definitely
not
gonna be like none of them.
I'm not.
You said not remakes or sequels.
Yeah.
Ruby Sapphire? I don't know.
Diamond and Pearl.
Yes.
It's April. Yeah, that's right.
Diamond and Pearl was the last one that didn't release during a holiday season. So I just don't see a world in which Gen 10 comes out earlier than October.
Yeah.
Truthfully. And I think that's also why you're seeing champions, because they've really been pushing the esports side of things. And I think that this will really let them continue to do that and not have to deal with a game that's 4 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so weird to like just have the competitive scene just laying there in Scarlet and Violet. Like, and they're doing a good job with it. That's the crazy part, right?
Well, yeah. Oh, I think Ryan disconnected. But we'll keep chatting until then.
I'll be right back.
Oh, no worries.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so one thing I just want to say too, especially Mike, since I know you know a little bit of competitive because you're friends with Mike, Chris and John, is that I know that like competitive isn't their number one goal, right? Like the number one goal is casuals, like let's get some new Pokemon made for the new anime and the cards, right? But I think it's important to still look at the competitive because I do think that tells you what's going to happen, especially now with Scarlet and Violet blowing up. Like they've actually been giving it attention. So we're in a double restricted format right now, which usually double restricted formats is like the last like real format. From what I understand, sometimes they introduce like mythicals, so like Keldeo.
But that would be like the last one.
Yeah, that's like the last one. Yeah. And even then it's like not even like a super competitive format. So if that's the case,
like where do they go next?
And
I know they start this one out more than they normally would.
Dozo said mythicals happened only once. I mean, if you guys want my guess would be that we're gonna get a format without the mechanic, because I think they also did that in Sword and Shield where they did like a non-Dynamax format. So
is that a serious like format?
I don't know actually, but I thought I heard that somewhere. Dozo can correct me. Yes, cool. They did. So we're probably gonna get a format without Terra, which is actually very interesting. And I don't want to dwell on that because this isn't a Pokemon podcast. But I just think it goes to show that like I do think Champions is closer than we think.
Yes, I agree.
I actually am posting a 45-minute video of me talking to the camera about Champions tomorrow. If anybody's interested, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, listen, my unemployed ass, like, I'm pumping out that content. Ryan, I know you have to go soon, so I just want to talk about anything else. Did you want to talk about the Direct, Ryan? Is there anything else that you guys felt you wanted to talk about in these last 15 minutes?
Yeah. So yeah, a couple, like you said, like last quick small things. So with the Direct rumors, what we've seen interestingly is that one source, I think it's like, if anyone like is part of like the leak culture or whatnot or online, it's like PH Brazil. If you've heard that before, it's like one of those sources who's like been correct about like a few other directs or a few other like release dates or whatnot. So somebody who has like a reputable track record, and they've gone on record saying, hey, I'm hearing rumblings that there's going to be a direct either the week of the Switch launch or the week after the Switch launch. And some people were like,
that's a weird
true.
time.
Yeah.
Well, they were like, well, that's not true because they're just going to be releasing the console. We just had a direct back in April. Like, we're not going to have that. And other people were like, well, let's step back for a second. Before we were in the Switch 2 cycle, historically, Nintendo has always done 3 directs, always February, always June, to kind of like, go back to like E3 time, like June and then September. That's always been like their 3-prong direct. And then other people were like, that's true. And when you think about it, it would be the normal launch window. If they do it either the week of the Switch, which I don't think they're going to do a Switch 2 launch week, but let's just say for the sake of argument, they do it the week after, like the week of June 9th. That goes in line with other years of June directs. We don't really know a lot of release dates. Like, we know obviously Mario Kart's launch date. We know Donkey Kong is July. We now know ZA is October. We technically don't know when Kirby comes out, and we haven't seen anything of Kirby other than the teaser. Yeah. We haven't seen.
They're coming for you, Ryan. You're leaking.
The window is closed. The window is closed.
I know. That's too much.
Didn't need Rescue Heroes.
The Rescue Heroes rescue game.
Freaking Warren Waters over here. No, so like we don't know when Kirby's coming out. We haven't seen anything really of it. We don't know when Metroid's coming out. And I don't count this as much, but Hyrule Warriors, we don't know when that's coming out either. So there's a couple games we don't have on the slate yet. And some people are also saying, like, if Pokemon's October, they don't really have a November, December game. They're going to need like a holiday seller.
Oh, I've been seeing this. People are like, is it going to be Mario?
I don't
think so.
I still think it's
I think Mario Kart's the Mario game.
Yeah, I agree. I think next year we're getting the 3D Mario.
Yeah.
I think 3D Mario's next year, but people are like, there's like something that they might be holding back, and they might be having like one last surprise for the year.
Oh,
but
it's Minish Cap 2, Ryan.
Minish Cap 2.
Wait, hold on, guys. Did we get a Metroid release date?
No.
There's your holiday game.
Possibly. I mean, listen, I love Metroid. I don't think Metroid is like a system seller. Like, I think the game looks incredible. I feel like I could see that more as like the August, September game. Maybe it is the holiday game. I just don't think it's going to move as many mountains as
aren't we counting like ZA as like the holiday game, which I know is like Switch
probably, yeah.
Too, but
that's actually a really interesting point, Mike, because I think Pokemon is such a big IP that you could, but the thing is as big as Pokemon is, I don't know if that's.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously have access to numbers that, we don't have access to.
Yeah. Like, in their mind, Mario Kart is like a system seller, which it is, and
One thing I do want to throw out there is that we're due for a new Super Smash Brothers. Mm-hmm. There's been grumblings about a new Super Smash Brothers, like rumors spreading around. I don't know if it's going to be this holiday season. And I also know when they do Smash, they tend to love to breadcrumb that.
They breadcrumb it. Honestly, if they announce it tomorrow, I still don't think that's enough time.
Yeah, that's like unironically. Do you guys remember the Smash Dojo?
Yeah,
I would check that every day after school.
And they update it like every day. It was so good.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that that's coming this year. I'm just saying if they announce it, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes, I could see some kind of announcement happening. I wonder if they're gonna do like another like Mario Wonder, like a 2D type game.
I think it's too soon, personally, but
I agree, but
I wouldn't be surprised
I meant more along those lines. Like, do we get like Zelda Maker now or something?
Yeah, I'll be realistic.
That's true, Dozo. I forgot about that. Yeah, Dozo brought up a good point because I forgot that Sakurai directed Kirby, so he probably wasn't working on Smash.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think realistically, and also to keep expectations low, I feel like we kind of know what their 25 slate is, and any big games like Smash, 3D Mario, Animal Crossing, I feel like all that stuff's going to be like 26 and beyond.
Yeah.
I think it just comes down to where we puzzle piece stuff in after Donkey Kong. It's like, okay, Pokemon's October. Where are Kirby, Hyrule Warriors, and Metroid going to fall? And I feel like those would be their last like 3 big games, and they have obviously a ton of third-party support. So I think that's what's going to happen. I can still see a direct happening, and them being like, here we're going to have this direct, so you can get excited for the new system, and here is when we're going to slot these games, and maybe at the very end they'll tease like a 26 game, because obviously the direct only focused on 25 games basically.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So
I think you guys heard it here first. Metroid's going to be your second holiday game.
Here it
I
is.
think Metroid plus Pokemon hit 2 separate bases. That's the other thing too, right?
Yes, I could agree with that too.
Like Animal Crossing and Metroid, right? Those hit two separate areas. So I feel like
they're not gonna step on each other's toes.
yeah. What launched at the same time as Animal Crossing? Do you guys remember?
Doom.
That's what it was, because I
Yeah,
remember it was like the
that team.
Barbenheimer.
That was the best collaboration.
yeah, we had Doom Crossing, we had Barbenheimer, and then I think next year or later this year there's another like set of movies that's coming out that's like the next like Barbenheimer or whatever it is.
I love Barbenheimer.
Well, with that, I think we're gonna wrap up because Ryan's got to go watch the Knicks lose. So,
hey, you know what? Sorry. Now that Avengers Doomsday got delayed to the end of next year,
Yeah,
it's coming out the same day as Dune Messiah. So basically, so they're calling it Doomsday.
oh, that's actually pretty cool. I like
That's
that.
a good one. That's clever.
Doomsday, yeah.
But yeah, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry for the wait, but next week we'll be back with Pokeyap, and then we'll be back with Get Blueshelled, where we're going to be talking about
impressions.
Yes, Switch 2. We all got Mario Kart here, so we're going to talk about that. But I just want to say we're also going to do Mario Kart streams. So
Yeah, tune in for it.
Ryan and Mike, you guys got capture cards?
No.
What do you mean?
What was it supposed to?
I gotta show you guys how to get capture cards so we can do
I'm not
movie
a streamer.
streams. We gotta show you guys. No, but that's fine. We'll still have a fun time without. But yeah, definitely tune in there. We'll have fun. We'll probably grab some people from Chris and John's server too, and just because you can have what 24 people now in a race.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have. I bought the camera. I bought the the Switch
Piranha
camera.
Plant one?
No, because the Piranha Plant one is only 720p.
Oh.
If it was
okay,
1080p, I 100% would have bought that one. But now you're gonna see my face as I throw blue shells.
So we can see each other. I need to get the camera.
Yeah.
No, you need. Okay, I'm gonna be real, guys. Like the camera is such a gimmick.
Yeah.
But like, it's gonna be hilarious.
Oh yeah, I want to get it.
You'll get some value out of it. That's all that matters.
Like I'll get some laughs out of it when I throw a blue shell and somebody gets really mad.
Get blue shell.
Maybe I'll play Mario Party.
There we go.
And you guys can see me rage.
No.
We'll get the camera with above your character that they do.
Silk Song will come out before Nicole plays Mario Party.
That's actually really funny. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. We're gonna wrap this up now, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes,
Enjoy your
bye,
Switch 2
everyone.
launch,
Thanks for joining.
and we'll see you guys next time.